everybody, and welcome to this video in which I will be showcasing my Codegeist 2025 submission called Beautiful Assets for Confluence. Let's start by having a look at some sample data I created in Jira Assets just for the purpose of this demonstration. We have in the schema tree a company, a person, a device type, and a device, and we have some objects that are attached to it. For example, if you look at the companies, we have here Atlassian. We have some contact information related to the company, and here you might see some familiar names linked to this company. Now let's switch to Confluence so I can show you why I created this app in the first place. In Confluence you already have a macro called assets, which you can use to insert information into your Confluence page. You just choose the schema, you enter a query, and you get a nice list of objects that match your query. Let's select the fields that we are interested in. We do not want to have these. Insert the object. There you go. You can drag around these columns so that they are in the correct order. Let's put headquarters second. Unfortunately, you cannot include images from assets, so let's just manually upload an image into the page so it looks nice. Update the page, and there you go. We have a nice page with some information coming from Jira Assets, but unfortunately an image that's not coming from Jira Assets. Unfortunately, the built-in Assets macro only allows you to display data in a horizontal table. If you would like a vertical layout or just select individual fields, you are out of luck. You could of course create tables with only one column, like I did in this page I created earlier, but as you can see, a lot of screen estate is lost, it looks kind of Yankee, and more importantly, each of these macros has its own configuration. So if you would like to use this page as a template for other people, you'd need to open and update each macro with a new query. So let's have a look at how we can improve things by using the beautiful assets for Confluence app. I'm going to create a new page, companies, where we're displaying some company info. And we're going to add a filter here. The filter selects the actual object that we want to work on, so you have to give it a name and select which object you want to work on, company, and we're going to use Atlassian again as an example. There we go, we have now a filter on the page. Let's add a layout, and let's here add the logo of Atlassian. We'll choose the filter that we created earlier, and we use the logo URL. There we go. Now on this side, maybe we want to be able to show some fields of the company. So let's go for a beautiful list. We'll choose the company, and let's see, what do we want to see? We want to see the name of the company, headquarters. Maybe we want to have the contact information. And let's also include the website. For the website, we can select what we want to see. Let's just choose the URL of the website itself as the display text. And there we go. We can publish the page. And there we go. Now say that you don't want to display information on just one company, but you would actually want to be able to easily have information on all the companies in your database. We can go back to the filter, we remove the selection for only Atlassian, so we get all the results, and we can click this checkbox here, which will then actually include a drop down. So now we can actually choose the company that we want to see the information from. Another fun feature of beautiful assets is that you can actually make filters depend on each other. So let's use that functionality to create a list of people that are actually working at the company. So let's use people, we're going to use the scheme again, let's use persons, and we're going to add a filter saying that the company where the person is working matches the filter of the company that we created earlier. As you can see, we have the results here. So let's now display them. Maybe we can use a nice table, beautiful assets table, and we're going to configure it with the filter that we just created, people. And let's say that we want to know the name and the role, and maybe we want to see the LinkedIn profile of the person. But the URL is not really that interesting. Let's just add here as plain text that says link as display. So here we go, we get the results. Let's maybe switch back to Atlassian so that we can see the nice people who work at Atlassian. As you can see, beautiful assets for Confluence allows you to format and display the data from Jira Assets freely on the page where it is actually needed, instead of forcing you to use a very strict data table. This way you can easily share data with people who might not feel at home in Jira or do not possess the technical skills to navigate the Jira assets databases. For example, here I have another page I created earlier that displays a phone that is in the possession of a certain employee. HR departments could use a page like this to do a quick lookup without needing any additional technical skills or contacting their IT department for the necessary information. In the rest of the video, I will showcase the macros that I didn't use yet, and I'll show you how you can enter advanced AQL queries into a filter. So let's switch back to the page with company info we were editing before. Earlier, I used the list macro to display all the properties of the company, but I want to make this a bit nicer because, for example, the phone and email are not clickable, and it allows me to showcase all the other macros that are still available inside beautiful assets. So let's first remove this one and create a new table. The table needs 2 columns, and we'll move this column here, and then I want to have a header column, not a header row, and let's add some information here. First, let's add the name. We can use the macro text. We can choose the filter for the company, and we say we want to show the name of the company. Next, let's add the headquarters. Again, we'll use the text macro. We'll use the company, headquarters, save. Alright. Then we're going to add the phone number. For the phone number, there's a special macro which creates a link. So we can use that one. We choose the company again, and we say we want the contact phone. Alright. And then we'll also want the email. Again, there's a special field for it. Email. Like this. And then finally, we want to have the website. And again, we have a hyperlink macro which we can use. Again, we choose the company, and the attribute that we choose is the website. Here we want to show the URL as a display text. You could also use an attribute value. So for example, we can use actually here the name of the company and use that one to display. So now you see it doesn't show you the URL, it just shows you Atlassian. Finally, maybe we can make this layout a bit nicer because it's kind of, the table is kind of cooked up here. Let's make this kind of layout. Let's move this one here like this. So now we can see we use the text macro to display the name and the headquarters. We use the phone number macro to make a clickable phone number link. We use the email macro for a clickable email link, and then the hyperlink macro we used with an object property, the name to use as the display value. Those were all the macros that are currently available in beautiful assets for Confluence. So now let's finally switch to the filter macro, and let's have a look at the advanced mode. So this is the basic configuration that we created earlier. If you click advanced, you will get a warning that switching to advanced means that you cannot switch back without losing the configuration. So we just click the button, and you can see here the query that's being generated. You can also see that you can still use the references to other macro filters. For example, here you see company. You can also easily insert macros by clicking them here, clicking the insert button, and then just close the bracket, and then you can see you get the results. You also still have the checkbox here to show the drop down in the view mode, so you can choose the person that you want to work with. Let's save, and you can see it still works even though we're now using the advanced filter. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have any questions, want to get information on possible future updates or releases of the app, or you want to try it out yourself, do not hesitate to get in touch with me via email. Goodbye.